the lone rider against the sunset, the glint of a tin star, the deafening crack of a revolver in a dusty street. For over a century, we've been captivated by the legend of the Wild West lawman, a story of men whose names echo like thunder through the canyons of history. But legend and reality are often two different trails. The true measure of a frontier lawman wasn't just how fast he could draw his gun, but how long he could endure the brutal realities of his job. Toughness was about tracking a killer for weeks across unforgiving territory, facing down an entire mob with nothing but grit, and holding true to a code of honor when it was easiest to walk away. It was a test of will, not just of speed. Today, we're peeling back the layers of myth to find the truth. We're going beyond the famous gunfights to rank the 10 toughest lawmen who ever pinned on a badge. We'll look at their courage in combat, their relentless pursuit of justice, the deadly dangers they faced, and the iron integrity that defined them. As we count down, you may find that the toughest man to ever enforce the law in the West is a hero whose story has been unjustly lost to time. If you enjoy true stories from the Old West, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an adventure into the past. Before we get into today's video, I have something special for you. Do you ever watch an old Western and wonder, did that really happen? Well, we've put together a free guide called the Ultimate Wild West Fact Checkers Guide, and it debunks 25 of the biggest myths lying Hollywood shows in their movies. You get it emailed to you instantly when you sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Just head on over to nativejournals.com/subscribe to grab yours and find out the truth about everything from high noon duels to what cowboys really wore. Link is in the description. Number 10. Pat Garrett. Pat Garrett earned his place in history with a single legendary act, killing Billy the Kid. As sheriff of Lincoln County, New Mexico, he was handed a simple mandate: bring an end to the chaos caused by William H. Bonney. Garrett was a determined manhunter who succeeded where others had failed, tracking and capturing the kid. And when Billy escaped, killing 2 deputies in the process, Garrett hunted him down again, ending the chase in a dark room in Fort Sumner. But this single act did not bring him the universal praise he might have expected. A large part of the public saw him as a villain who had ambushed a folk hero, making him a tragic figure whose legacy was forever caught in the shadow of the young outlaw he made immortal. Number 9. Seth Bullock. Next on our list is the man who tamed Deadwood with a stare. Seth Bullock's toughness wasn't measured in the number of men he shot, but in his sheer force of will. He arrived in the notoriously lawless Gold Rush camp just a day before Wild Bill Hickok was murdered, an event that highlighted the camp's desperate need for order. Appointed as the first sheriff, Bullock brought civilization to Deadwood, and remarkably, he did it without killing a single man during his tenure. His intimidating presence was often enough to quell a disturbance before it turned violent. His deep friendship with President Theodore Roosevelt, who called him the finest type of frontiersman, and his later success as a U.S. Marshal proved that true grit isn't always about the gun. It's about unshakable character. Number 8. Algo Baka. The story of Algo Baka is one of almost superhuman survival. In 1884, at just 19 years old, Baka, a self-appointed deputy in Frisco, New Mexico, found himself in a standoff against a mob of angry cowboys. He took refuge in a flimsy adobe hut. For the next 33 hours, as many as 80 men laid siege to the small structure, firing an estimated 4,000 rounds into it. Miraculously, Baka survived without a scratch, having laid flat on the hut's sunken floor, which protected him from the hail of lead. He was acquitted of murder after the bullet-riddled door of the shack, with over 400 holes in it, was presented as evidence in court. This event made him a legend and shaped a unique approach to law enforcement that relied on his fearsome reputation. Number 7. Commodore Perry Owens. For pure, unadulterated gunfighting prowess in a single explosive moment, few can match Commodore Perry Owens. With long red hair, a strange name, and a pistol on each hip, he was a striking figure on the Arizona frontier. He was ambidextrous and could reportedly shoot a rifle accurately from the hip. In 1887, as sheriff of Apache County, Owens went to a house in Holbrook to serve a warrant on a rustler named Andy Blevins. What happened next lasted less than a minute. When the outlaws inside opened fire, Owens, with lightning speed, drew his pistols and went to work. When the gun smoke cleared, 3 men were dead and another was wounded. Sheriff Owens was completely unharmed. The sheer deadliness and nerve he displayed in one of the most intense, one-sided shootouts in Western history earns him a high rank for pure combat toughness. Number 6. Wild Bill Hickok. He was known as the Prince of Pistoliers, the living embodiment of the gunfighter archetype. Wild Bill Hickok's legendary quick-draw duel with Davis Tutt in 1865 is often called the first of its kind, a face-to-face showdown in a town square that left Tutt dead from 75 yards. As marshal of the wild cattle town of Abilene, his iron-fisted rule brought order where others had failed. His career, however, ended in tragedy. After accidentally killing his own deputy in a shootout, the incident haunted him for the rest of his life. His final years were marked by failing eyesight from glaucoma before he was shot in the back of the head while playing poker in Deadwood, holding a hand of black aces and eights, forever known as the dead man's hand. Number 5. John Slaughter. When Cochise County, Arizona, needed a firm hand after the chaos of the Earp era, it turned to John Slaughter. This 5'6" rancher sheriff cleaned up the county with a sawed-off 10-gauge shotgun and an uncompromising attitude. His motto was simple. He would tell an outlaw to lay down or be shot down, and he meant it. He often rode alone, hunting down entire gangs with relentless determination. His 2 terms as sheriff were so effective in running out the lawless element that he is credited as a significant reason Arizona was finally allowed to achieve statehood. He was a personification of frontier justice, hard, tough, and brutally effective. Number 4. Bill Tillman. Bill Tillman was a lawman's lawman. His incredible career spanned 51 years, a monument to endurance and integrity. As one of the legendary 3 Guardsmen, he was a key figure in the war against organized outlaw gangs in Oklahoma. He was celebrated not for a fast draw, but for his unwavering courage, cleverness, and tracking ability. His most famous feat was the capture of gang leader Bill Doolin. Tilghman located Doolin at a bathhouse, posed as a civilian, and arrested the surprised outlaw without firing a single shot. Even Bat Masterson called him the greatest of us all. He served with distinction for decades before being tragically killed in the line of duty at age 70 by a corrupt prohibition agent, a peacekeeper to the very end. Number 3. Wyatt Earp. He is the most famous, the icon whose name is synonymous with the Wild West. In the 30-second flash of the gunfight at the OK Corral, Wyatt Earp carved his name into history. His friend Bat Masterson described him as absolutely destitute of physical fear, and he was famously never wounded in a gunfight, a testament to his nerve. But his career was not without controversy. His early life was marked by accusations of horse theft, and his famous Vendetta Ride was an extra-legal revenge quest that ended with a murder warrant for his own arrest. Later in life, he actively shaped his own myth, collaborating on a heroic biography that sanitized his past, while his official time as a lawman was shorter and more controversial than others. The sheer intensity of his days in Tombstone and his enduring, larger-than-life legend earned him a spot among the absolute toughest. Number 2. Hec Thomas. If Wyatt Earp was the icon, Hec Thomas was the professional. As a leader of the 3 Guardsmen, he represented a new breed of lawman, the systematic, relentless manhunter. His toughness was forged early. He served as a courier in the Civil War at just 12 years old. While others kept the peace in towns, Thomas waged war on outlaw gangs across the vast, dangerous expanse of Oklahoma Territory. He was a tireless tracker and a fearless fighter who was wounded multiple times in the line of duty. His crowning achievement was the final confrontation with the notorious gang leader Bill Doolin. After tracking Doolin to his hideout, Thomas faced him down and, when the outlaw went for his rifle, cut him down with a shotgun blast, effectively ending the Doolin gang's reign of terror. Number 1. Bass Reeves. For 32 years, he rode into the most dangerous land in America. Indian Territory was a place where 120 of his fellow deputies would lose their lives, but Bass Reeves endured. Standing an imposing 6 feet 2 inches, he was a former slave who rose to become the most feared and respected Deputy U.S. Marshal of his time. He is credited with arresting over 3,000 felons, more than almost any other lawman of the era. He was a master of disguise, once tricking a pair of outlaws by showing up at their mother's house pretending to be a fugitive on the run, then arresting them in their sleep. His integrity was absolute, proven when he received a warrant for his own son for murder and hunted him down and arrested him just the same. He outserved, out-arrested, and out-survived nearly all of his famous contemporaries, all while facing prejudice they could never imagine. For his unparalleled effectiveness, his unshakable integrity, and his incredible longevity in the face of immense adversity, Bass Reeves was, without a doubt, the toughest lawman of the Wild West. So, who do you think was the toughest lawman to ever wear a badge? Did we get the ranking right, or is there a lawman you think deserved a spot on this list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next journey into the past.